Hello, welcome to the Ginger Geek Show. So today I wanted to talk about one of my favourite companions in Doctor Who, and the reason why I kind of want to talk to her because she seems to have quite a divided opinion on this character. To me, I've got zero understanding of why. This companion is, of course, Clara Oswald. To me, I think she generally is one of the best companions on the show. As I said, she seems to have this kind of really odd hatred, a good part of, and it's hatred, I would say, and a large part of the Doctor Who community. I've always been quite divided on the actual Doctor Who community. I find a lot of them quite filled with hate for the sake of hate for some odd reason. But yes, this is going to be a video of just why I love the character of Clara Oswald, and also I'm going to obviously kind of say more than just the fact that I clearly have a huge fancy for Jenna Coleman. But let's talk about actually Clara Oswald, of course, and I want to talk about her kind of her path and her kind of story from the start to end, and simply why I love Clara Oswald. On 21st of March 2012, it was announced of a new companion, and it was indeed Jenna Coleman, who was going to replace Karen Gillan as the new companion. Now, for our first episode, actually, it turned out to be Barrett's. It was a surprise of the Asylum of the Daleks, the first episode of Series 7. Now, me and many of us others knew that obviously she was going to be in Series 7, but obviously not this early, and it was a really nice surprise that they done it this way, and I really liked it that they managed to keep it all a secret, and I thought it was really well done. And many kind of people still to this day have a go at the Doctor doesn't seem to kind of keep secrets anymore. Everyone knows everyone, and I don't really agree with that. Another good example was Davros. Nobody knew that Davros was going to be in Series 9 until you saw him on screen, and that was great. And this was a good example of it here. And it's interesting when you look into, obviously, of the auditions that Jenna Coleman done. She's said from the start that she did have many different types of auditions, different types of characters as well, which we actually now on to see onto our very first, but right, I guess you could say proper episode of the Christmas episode, The Snowman. Now I want to quickly just talk about The Snowman here actually, as it was a Christmas special I actually do very much enjoy. I love Richard E. Grant. He hams it up to the 9 with that one. But obviously this is a first kind of proper kind of introduction, I guess you could say, of Clara Oswald. That here, I guess by rights a different version of it here. This is the Victorian style of the character here, and here, like, I'm really liking Jenna Coleman and what she does with this type of character. But obviously when we actually get on to Series 7, now this is where we now have this is where we have her as the kind of the modern day companion, and throughout the whole course of Series 7 we have this main kind of storyline of the whole idea of like the Doctor's trying to figure out what obviously, because obviously he knows that she's obviously dealt with her in the past, and he's trying to figure out what's the deal with her. And I really like the relationship between Matt Smith and Jenna Coleman. I think that they had a really good friendship in real life, and I think that really helps for on screen as well. I really liked their chemistry together. The first episode, the proper one, I guess, if you want to say it, for Series 7, I guess, with the modern day companion of the Bells of St. John. I like all that kind of stuff together, and she's still Jenna Coleman's still kind of building on this character. You can see she's not perfect. She isn't perfect just yet, but I don't want her to be perfect. I don't want any companion to be perfect, or any Doctor really, on the first go. I think they should have a sort of build into the character. And then the second episode we have this more kind of connection of this leaf, and I really like this idea, and I liked also that they kind of just dealt with it in the second episode, because a lot of these things kind of get dragged out, and sometimes it's nice when they actually just kind of go on with it and go with it, and I quite liked that, because obviously this leaf was a connection to how her parents met, and I like that kind of stuff. And I like it when she goes to this planet of the Rings of Akate in the second episode, and just seeing her seeing aliens for the first time, and I think Jenna Coleman really plays it quite well, not too over the top of I think she plays it quite well for that kind of stuff. And then obviously through the course of Series 7 they kind of build up more on the relationship between the 11th Doctor and Clara. 11th Doctor still trying to figure out just what the hell really this Clara seems to be, and it really seems to kind of more kick off in the episode of the Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS. Another episode I quite enjoy. It's a fun episode. It wasn't big, I guess, but right. no pun intended. But here it seems to really kind of click off, where he seems to really get at her of based on what he's trying to figure out what the hell she is, like why. Well, what's the deal with all this kind of connections of the different Claras that there's been, to which obviously comes to a head in the big finale of The Name of the Doctor, which was a good finale, and it was a nice little kind of precursor to the 50th anniversary, which was. But between this one and the 50th anniversary, you know, Clara managed to see quite a lot of the Doctors, frankly, near enough, all of them at this point, of when, obviously, that they were coming out, which is quite a big thing for a companion to have, because I think that must be the first, must have been, of having a companion, having, seeing all those Doctors. I really enjoyed that kind of stuff. I think that was really great, and I liked how they dealt with that whole idea, because I like when they have fun with the concept of time, and they do that kind of like stuff. I always find that enjoyable. I always find that quite fun, to be honest, that kind of style of usage of that kind of stuff. But obviously when you get to the 50th anniversary, she now works as a teacher at Coal, which is a nice little reference to the very first episode of when a certain companions obviously worked there, and I like that, you know, we're building on her character, and I really quite enjoy that kind of stuff. You see the end of the 11th Doctor, but then obviously the start of the 12th Doctor, and then this brings a whole different dynamic and relationship between the Doctor and Clara. Obviously, first of all, it's a very shaky relationship they're doing. They're not particularly getting on great, and I quite like that a little bit, to be honest, because that actually kind of rounds a little bit the kind of like the past stuff, because when, you know, the Doctor would be quite dry with the companion, would be quite, you know, quite serious, or quite not as jokey, I guess you could say, about comparison of the 11th Doctor. And I like that, it's good. But I do like Capaldi and Jenna Coleman together. Much again, they got on very well outside their work. I think it really helped here. Like, you can see that they're building up on their relationship here between the Doctor and Clara, and I like this. But what I quite like about what they do basically with Series 8 is Clara really starts to come on to her own in this one. And very much so that they try and do the whole kind of idea of she is trying to obviously have a normal life, really, obviously having a relationship with Danny Pink, which builds up in a good couple of episodes, while obviously still travelling with the Doctor, which isn't an easy thing to obviously do. And I quite like, again, I like this kind of like stuff, you know, seeing like a companion clearly trying to have a normal life while obviously travelling with the Doctor. But then obviously it really kind of, there's an episode I've kind of grown to really like over the kind of years of the episode Kill the Moon. I think Jenna Coleman is probably the best at this point. Coming up to this episode, I think this is where she really excels here. I like the whole idea of just her, just full on, just, why are you treating me like this now, to the Doctor? Because, you know, the Doctor's a funny character, because he and, well, now she, goes on about how, you know, it shouldn't affect with, you know, the events that happen and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, by rights, you know, he and she does it all the time when you think about it. Anytime the Doctor will step on a different land, that's already breaking by rights the event that didn't obviously happen, you know. So, you know, you're kind of like, you know, you're thinking to yourself, you know, because obviously in that episode the Doctor thinks, no, this is human's decision to do, even though he makes many decisions on his own about human things. So it was interesting, that kind of dynamic that they done. And Jenna Coleman is brilliant in this episode. The acting that she does is really something, like stuff you just don't see come from a companion. She was just giving out, and it's fantastic here. And like in the couple of episodes that we have after this, like the Mummy and Orient Express, like the relationship's starting to get quite thin now, and I like this kind of plot thread that they kind of they put through here. An episode I've really quite grown to like is Flatline, because this is an episode where I kind of looked to myself and I thought, wow, she could actually do a spin-off here. She really could. I think Jenna Coleman has the acting chops that she could handle a show on her own, and I think Flatline proves that, really. I think she's brilliant in this episode where she's pretending to be the Doctor. More on that soon. And I really like that kind of stuff, and that's what I felt for a good bit where I think, like, as I said, Jenna Coleman has the chops, and you can see how Victoria, she can handle her show on her own. Like, I do think, like, she could easily have done a spin-off of Doctor Who on her own, very much like Sarah Jane Adventures. I could have easily have seen that indeed there. Now it's interesting, obviously, when you get to the episode of Last Christmas, which still berates her Last Christmas indeed, but was generally meant to be also her last episode. And I'm still kind of half and half actually, because if that was true, it would have been quite a good ending actually, to be honest, because, you know, the whole idea of he was too late, and then she actually was old. And that's a really beautiful scene when you see an old Clara. And it's interesting because, you know, right, Capaldi does obviously look older than obviously what Matt did. And now suddenly she looks older, really older than him. And it was really, and I loved the little, the cracker moment where, like, she was struggling to pull the cracker, which was a nice reference back to, obviously, the 11th Doctor struggling to pull a cracker. And I like that stuff. And I do think to myself, you know, that probably would have been a great fitting end. But then, as I says, I do love this companion. No, I didn't get fed up with this companion really, and that's what we get obviously more with Series 9, where Series 9 is just a full-fledged. She is like up on her game on her acting as Clara, on as a full-time companion here now. The storyline of Danny Pink is all gone now. She's just focusing on this stuff, and it's all great in Series 9. I think Series 9 is one of the best series in all of the new Who stuff. I think it's up there. It really, especially when you get to the Zygon two-parter, which really is one of the best two-parters I think in that storyline. For me, I do quite like the Zygons, but more personally because of Jenna Coleman, like what she does with the character of Bonnie, I really like, and I think you can really tell that Jenna Coleman is really just having fun with this character, being Baright's evil, an evil version of Clara, and I really like that, and it really showed even again more of like what she can do as an actress, and I really think she is definitely brilliant here. And obviously, no matter what, we always have to come to an end, and that obviously was with Face the Raven, where we do see her demise. And it was a great bit where, as I said earlier, where I said I was going to come back to it, where, you know, through Series 9, and this is the stuff where, like, the Doctor starts saying it, where he finds it a bit worrying that she finds it quite exciting, all this stuff. And yes, indeed, she very much believed that she could do, you know, what the Doctor does, you know, sort of thing. And then they came to a point where she tried to do what the Doctor does, and it kind of backfired. And that kind of tells you basically the fact that the Doctor can survive certain things compared to obviously a normal human being is. Like, no matter what, if the Doctor died, he can regenerate. That's not the case for a human, and I liked that they did it that way, and it ends so beautifully with such a lovely scene between Capaldi and Jenna Coleman. I think they're brilliant in that scene. Capaldi showing probably really like the first time in his kind of tenor, really quite showing emotion, and it's so subtle. It's not like over the top, a bit like Tennant, or not so bubbly like Matt, I guess. And sometimes emotion is just beautifully done if it's just subtle, and I really like that, and I love that scene so much. And I'm not gonna lie, when Clara does die in that scene, I was bubbling away like a little boy. But then obviously that was by rights not really the end now, was it? Because obviously in the finale, through Time Lord trickery, they managed to take her out of time. And I was still kind of half and half about that stuff, because no matter what, obviously at the end of Series 9, you know, she flies away off in a TARDIS, but no matter what, and this was obviously confirmed, because when the last time we see Clara is obviously in the Twice Upon a Time, which I cannot tell you how much I greeted. It was ridiculous how much I was crying when Jenna Coleman appeared in that very last show. As I said, I love this companion, so when she appeared, I was bubbling away so much. It was really ridiculous. And obviously that kind of tells you, because the concept of this race is basically they take the last images, I guess, of the person that's dead. So it did confirm as well that she did go back to Gallifrey where she was meant to die, and she did also, you know, die. So that kind of, because I think a lot of fans were a bit kind of confused by how Series 9 ended. I wasn't confused. They clearly said that, you know, she said she was, you know, she was going to go back. It was just going to be the long way, but obviously they had to confirm it here. But yeah, as I says, I really love this companion. You know, to me, Clara's everything what a companion should be. You know, she's strong, she's feisty, she sticks up for herself. You know, she's intelligent, she's funny, she's witty. You know, she's feisty. You know, I love everything. Also, she's got a pretty damn good style, I must say. I'll just point that one out there. But you know, and there's just so much to why I think, you know, she is. But and as I said, she is a superb actress, Jenna Coleman. To me, she is the best actress that's played a companion. Through any of them, she is the best actress to me, I think. And I still think it's going to be a hard one to try and never kind of outdo, for me, Jenna Coleman. I mean, I know a lot of people like Rose Tyler. I wasn't a fan of Rose Tyler. I found Rose quite a selfish character, if I'm honest. I don't like Donna. I know a lot of people like Donna. I quite like Donna. And Amy, I like Amy Pond's a big one of mine. I didn't mind Bill, and Martha didn't mind. But yeah, overall, you know, I love Clara Oswald. So yes, what do you guys think? Did you like this video? Did you not like this video? I'd love to know. Do you like this companion? Do you hate this companion? I know a lot of people kind of do, but I'd like to know what you guys think. More videos in the future. So until then, see you later.